เช็ควันทูเช็ควันทูมาต่อกันครับแบงค์เรื่องภาค2ว่างๆไปทำอะไรหลังจากล้างรถเสร็จ2 คัน ก็มาต่อมาเยี่ยมแม่ที่โรงพยาบาลไฟแดงนะ
Hello, I'd like to see my mom, Rebecca Michaels.
One moment. Your mother is still being examined. Have you got the medication with you?
Yes, here. Oh, and I've also got the insurance stuff. When can I...
Thank you. I will tell Dr. Newhouse. Please take a seat for a moment. I will let you know when you can go in and see your mother.
โอเคบอกให้รอแป๊บหนึ่งแม่กำลังตรวจอยู่ฮะแล้วก็เอายามาให้ด้วยยาที่แม่ใช้แล้วก็บัตรประกันสังคมรอใจจดใจจ่อไม่ไหวเดินไปเดินมาไม่ทำอะไรเป็นห่วงแม่
Excuse me, Mr. Michaels?
ไมเคิลคุณไมเคิลครับนามสกุลนะไมเคิล
Yes?
ครับผม
There is a problem with your mother's insurance card. It looks like she didn't make the last
ไม่ได้
payment.
จ่ายค่า
I don't know anything
ประกันสั
about
งค
that,
มไว้
and I really don't give a damn.
Obviously, it's a little unpleasant, but the insurance...
การประกัน
Look, I don't give a damn about the insurance. What's happening with my mom? How long is this thing gonna take?
I'm sure you'll be able to see her soon. But if we can't clear up this thing with the insurance, then we've got a problem here. You'll have to...
โทรศัพท์เข้า
Okay, doctor. You can see your mother now. The room at the end on the right.
ห้องสุดท้ายทางขวา
Mr. Michaels?
ไมเคิล
I can't help it if your mother hasn't paid, or if the bank hasn't made the transfer, or if the medical insurance won't cover the treatment. Here, take the card with you and sort it out. In the end, your mother will be back on her feet, but she won't have a roof over her head anymore.
โอ้ต้องขายบ้านมารักษาเลยเพราะว่าแม่ไม่ได้จ่ายตังค่าประกันสังคมเพราะฉะนั้นมันก็เลยไม่ cover นะประกันสังคมก็ไม่ครอบคลุมไม่สนใจหรอก
Not good, I'm afraid. The wounds to her head are quite severe. She must have fallen against the table with all her weight behind her.
Is she going to...
One should never give up hope. But your mother's in a coma, Darren.
โคม่าเลยอะ
I'm sorry, but it's rather uncommon for someone to wake from a deep coma. Perhaps if she'd been discovered earlier, then there wouldn't have been so much bleeding in her skull.
เลือดออกในสมอง
You're saying that if I'd gone to her straight after our talk, then she wouldn't be here now, lying in a coma?
But my boy, you couldn't possibly have known.
Yeah, how could I have known? Fuller.
Sorry?
Fuller! She phoned the photo store. She wanted to speak to me and Fuller just hung up on her.
Wait, no, that's completely...
She was conscious and wanted help, but Fuller...
Darren, get a grip. It was an accident. No one's to blame, and you should just...
Just what? Simply sit here at the bedside and hope that she gets better? I can't barely believe that.
Darren! You must...
Thanks for your help.
We'll look after your mother round the clock, Darren. You're welcome to stay here. I'll pop in again later.
I'm not gonna stay here. I still have things to sort out. That fat bastard's gonna pay for this.
โมโหฟูลเลอร์ครับเพราะว่าถ้าฟูลเลอร์ไม่เก็บเงียบไว้บอกเราตอนแม่โทรมาเรากลับไปถึงเราก็ได้รีบกลับมาหาแม่เลยนี่ฟูลเลอร์ไม่ยอมบอกเราเลยโทษฟูลเลอร์ว่าเป็นแม่เป็นเพราะแม่เป็นอย่างนี้เพราะมันนั่นแหละก็ต้องไปจัดการ
It seems to. She looks so weak. My mom always had a fighting spirit, and all this just because she tripped. Probably rushing around again, doing someone or other a favor. And then that stupid cupboard. Oh, and Fuller, if he even... I'm gonna squeeze him dry for this.
หมอบอกเมื่อกี้ลืมเล่าไปหมอบอกว่าแม่อยู่โคม่านะครับเพราะล้มหัวไปฟาดน่าจะฟาดกับโต๊ะทิ้งน้ำหนักตัวไปหมดเลยแล้วก็เลือดข้างในสมองเราก็เลยโมโหว่าฟูลเลอร์ตอนแม่โทรมาแม่ยังมีสติอยู่เลยทำไมฟูลเลอร์ไม่บอกเราก่อนจะได้รีบกลับไป
hospital chic.
หมอบอกว่าอย่าโทษตัวเองนะจะก็อย่าโทษคนอื่น
medicine bottle lying here. Perhaps it belonged to the patient who was here before my mother.
มีขวดยาด้วยยาอะไรไม่รู้
Laxativa, a powerful laxative. Sounds useful.
เจอยาในนี้ยาของคนไข้เก่า
Laxative. That'll definitely come in handy sooner or later. The monitor shows my mother's vital signs. Pulse, breathing, etc. No idea if the values are positive. That doesn't belong to my mom. Maybe it's from the person who was in here before her. I guess I should have packed a case like that for my mother too. A set of scales. Maybe for overweight patients? They certainly look a bit more solid than the ones you have in your bathroom at home. I'd better leave the scales here. What would I do with scales? There's a stethoscope. Presumably someone from the clinic forgot it when washing their hands. Doc Newhouse has definitely still got his. I'll take it with me. They ought to be able to rustle up another one here.
หยิบหมดหยิบไปก่อนเพื่อมีประโยชน์ทีหลังมีอะไรแม่รับมอนิเตอร์กัน
The monitor shows my mother's vital signs. Pulse.
ปักโอเคจัดการฟูลเลอร์เนี่ยคนนี้เดินตาม
I can't tell you that. You can talk to her son if you like. He's just... There he is.
Hey! Hey! You!
ไอคนนี้เราเจอ3 ทีแล้วนะ
What the hell?
ถามพยาบาลว่าคนไทย
A nurse. And perhaps an administrator as well. They could well be one and the same nowadays. The way things look, it seems that healing the patients is a kind of secondary activity. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
ถามถึงไอ้คนเมื่อกี้
What did that guy want?
He was asking about your mother.
มาถามเรื่องแม่
What
เรา
did he want to know?
อยากรู้เรื่อ
He
งอะไร
wanted to know
If she made it?
Yes.
ถามว่าแม่เราตายหรือยัง
But I told him we're not allowed to give out patient information. He ought to speak to you.
I don't know the guy, but he's gone out of his way to avoid me twice already. You know who he is?
I'm sorry, no. But he's got an accent. I think he's British. But with something else, too.
Listen, I don't want that guy anywhere near my mother. You understand?
Of course.
มาถามว่าแม่เราตกลงตายไหมไอ้พยาบาลก็บอกว่าบอกไม่ได้ เป็นความลับของคนไข้แล้วก็ให้มาคุยกับเราพอเราออกมาหนีไปเลยต้องถามเกี่ยวกับแม่
What do you think? You reckon my mom's gonna be okay?
Oh, you never can know. But for sure, there are people who come out of comas after much worse accidents than your mother's.
And folks who die from much less serious accidents.
You mustn't give up hope. Pray for your mother.
Statistically speaking, that has no effect whatsoever. It'll save my time.
เราถามแม่เป็นไงบ้างมันก็บอกว่าเราไม่รู้หรอกจะฟื้นมีคนอุบัติเหตุแรงกว่าแม่ก็ยังฟื้นมาได้เราก็บอกว่ามีคนอุบัติเหตุน้อยกว่าแม่ยังตายได้เลยอะไรประมาณนี้แล้วก็บอกว่าอย่าทิ้งความหวังไปถามเกี่ยวกับด็อกเตอร์
This Dr. Newhouse, what's he like?
เขาเป็นคนยังไง
he's very charming.
เป็นคนมีเสน่ห์
Really nice guy.
คนดี
He isn't from around here. He came to Bideford a couple of years back. But he's really settled and got on well, and...
Yeah, nice story. I wanted to know if he was a competent doctor.
เป็นหมอที่ดีหรือเปล่า
Oh yes, of course. He used to run a huge
เค
hospital
ย
in
อยู่โรงพยาบาล
Atlanta.
ใหญ่ในแอตแลนตามาก่อ
He's
น
apparently rather overqualified to be working in a little place like Bideford. But I think he enjoys the small town life. Your mother is in good hands.
บอกแม่คุณได้หมอดีแล้วล่ะไม่ต้องห่วงเคยอยู่โรงพยาบาลใหญ่มาก่อนแครี่ใครวะ
You from around here?
You could say that. I grew up here.
อ๋อแครี่คนที่
Then
ตาย
you
กัน
surely must be able to tell me some exciting stories about the place.
Well, not really all that much happens here. You know, a young woman killed herself
บอก
a
ให้เล่า
couple
เรื่อง
of
ข
years
องแม่
back.
บอก
She
ที่ผู้หญิง
jumped
เคยฆ่าตัวตาย
into the ocean,
เดี๋ยวมัน
and
เป็
they
นทะ
had
เล
to call in extra divers to help search for her.
เรียก
They didn't save her though.
นักประดาน้ำมา
They
ช่วย
never even found the body.
หาศพ
But
ไม่เจอ
apart from that, there's never really much happening here.
ก็จาก
You
ก็จะ
mean
มีอะไรนะ
Carrie?
แครี่
Did you know her?
รู้จักกันไหม
Yes, we used to go to aerobics together.
เราไปเต้นแอโร
Any
บิกด้วยกัน
idea why she killed herself?
เคยรู้ไหมว่า
We'd all like to
เขา
know
ฆ่า
the
ตัวตาย
answer to that one. She was always so happy. We used to have lots of laughs together. But then, she changed. She also stopped coming to the sports events, and I lost touch with her. I had no idea she was having such a hard time with herself.
Thanks for the info.
แครี่ก็เป็นคนแฮปปี้เป็นคนมีความสุขดีอยู่ดีๆก็เป็นซึมเศร้าขึ้นมาแล้วก็ฆ่าตัวตายไม่รู้ว่าไปเจออะไรมา
About all this insurance garbage.
Best to have a look through your mother's bank transfers. If she's transferred the money, then it's up to the bank and the insurance company to slug it out between themselves. You can simply drop it by with the certificate if you like. Then I'll see to it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
ก็ให้ไปเช็คดูอะไรวะสมุดธนาคารของแม่ว่าแม่จ่ายตังค์ไหมถ้าจ่ายตังค์ไปแล้วก็แสดงว่าต้องให้ประกันเข้าไปบี้กับธนาคารเองนะ
Thanks very much for the information.
No problem.
ตามไปบ่าวนั้นเลยดีกว่าอยู่ฝั่งนี้นี่เราไปหาฟูลเลอร์
Whoa, that can't be right. It's the guy from the hospital with
ไอ้
Fuller.
บ่าวนั้น
Who
มา
is
อยู่
that
ฟูลเลอร์
guy? And what's he got to do with
ใคร
Fuller?
คุยฟูลเลอร์
I ought to listen in. I can still get Fuller talking to afterwards.
โอเคต้องฟังว่ามันคุยอะไรกันแอบฟังได้ยินไหมเนี่ย
Can't hear a thing from here. They're way too far off.
ไปดูชวนหลังดิ
I've got to be careful. Fuller's talking to that guy on the other side of that window. I can't understand anything. But if I'm not careful, they'll see me.
ต้องลองใช้อันนี้ดิ
Just the noise of the heating pipe.
ไม่ได้ยินอะไร เข้าประตูแล้ว
Damn.
ประตูล็อก
The
อีก
door is locked. There's a little hook that's keeping the door locked. I've got to reach it somehow.
มันมีฮุกอันนี้เปิดอยู่
Huh. The window is directly above the door. Perhaps I can somehow unhook the lock through the window.
เราสามารถหาอะไรไปเคลียร์ไอ้
An
กรอน
ancient, rickety tool shed. This is where Fuller keeps the junk that he doesn't just throw somewhere in the yard. So, not much.
ตักน้ำไปเลย
A completely rusted bucket with big holes in the bottom of it.
สายนี่ไง
A length of tow rope, a bit more than 2 yards long, and in great condition.
เอาสายนี่มา
Ropes are always good.
เชือกดีเสมออันนี้ก็
Fuller hung out the laundry yesterday for him and his mother. I just found it somewhat surprising that a fat ass like him does the laundry for his mother. Alarming, even. The man is way past 40 and gets bossed around by his mother.
เชือกไม่ได้อะ
A tow rope from out of Fuller.
เชือกลากรถอะแล้วก็เอานี่ไปเกี่ยวดิ
Huh.
มีอะไรนะกรงหมา
That's the cage for Fuller's mother's dog.
หมาแม่ของ
But the dog is usually in the house. At least, I've never seen it here in the cage.
มีกระป๋องน้ำหมาอยู่อะทำไมวะ
The water bowl is completely dry. Perhaps I can still use it. A reel of fishing line. There seems to be a little still on it. Only the line, I'm afraid. No hook.
ไม่มีเบ็ดตกปลาเอ็นเบ็ดตกปลาแต่ว่าไม่มีอะไรวะเรียกอะไรวะฮุก
If somebody told me the old fat pig dumped poisonous waste, then I'd completely believe it. I don't understand why Fuller doesn't just get this stuff picked up. What does he want to keep it for?
เบ็ดตกปลามันใช้กับอะไรวะถ้าเราใช้ของได้มันจะมีสีขึ้นอย่างนี้
And then what? Poison Fuller's mother's dog?
มีอะไรให้ดูอีกนี่ลงไปใต้ดินนะ
Huh. I could reach the basement through the light well. But removing the grill would make too much noise. And apart from that, I'd never get up the creaky basement staircase quietly. I've got to find another way. I'll never get those bars out of the wall. I can forget that. I'll never get those bars. And apart from
ทำเสียง
that,
เกินไปถ้าดึงเครื่องไม้มีเสียงดังเกินไปบักเกอร์หยิบได้ด้วย หยิบได้ด้วยปุ๊บอ๋อนี่ไงได้ฮุกมาแล้วทีนี้เอา
the handle's busted off. I'm gonna leave the bucket there. There really isn't much more I can do with it.
ได้เหล็กมา เอามาพันกับไอ้นี่สายเอ็นตามฮุกแล้วก็หย่อนไว้
Not exactly a fishing rod, but maybe I can catch something else with it. That should work. I've just got to be really quiet. If the handle hits against the door, they're both sure to hear it.
เข้าไปแอบฟัง
Done it. And they didn't notice anything.
เรียบร้อยไม่มีใครได้ยินเสียงอะไร
The door is open again. I can go in. I just hope it doesn't squeak.
หวังว่าคงไม่ดังเอี๊ยดถ้าเปิดเข้าไป
Angelina. That might have been it. I wrote down the surname as well. For another $10, I might even remember where I put the note.
Not necessary. I know her surname. And your assistant, what about him?
What assist? Oh, you mean Darren? That's my errand boy. He works here in the semester holidays.
A good errand boy is worth a lot. What do you know about him?
Why are you interested in him? You want to poach him from me? No problemo. For $100, I'll even write his notice straight away. What the hell? We'll say 50.
Not interested. Do you know him well?
What's with all the questions? His mother came in and asked if he could work here for a few weeks. He's a pussy! One of the eternally afflicted. Oh, I feel so bad and the world is so unfair and it all makes no sense. Boo-hoo.
So you don't know him?
And I've got no
That was close.
เกือบไปแล้ว
They're both heading for the exit, and I'm none the wiser. Who is this guy following then? Me? Or Angelina? And why? I'm gonna ask Angelina about the man. She's British, and that guy's got a British accent. You never know, perhaps she knows him. But first, I've got unfinished business with Fuller.
ต้องไปถามแองเจลิน่าถึงคนเมื่อกี้ไอ้คนเมื่อกี้ก็มาถามฟูลเลอร์ว่าแองเจลิน่าน่าจะถามกับแองเจลิน่าอยู่พักนึงแล้วแหละถ้าพอเราเข้าไปก็ได้ยินว่าถามอยู่กับเราพอดีเราต้องไปจัดการฟูลเลอร์ก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวค่อยไปถามแองเจลิน่าเรื่องคนแปลกหน้าเมื่อกี้ stranger คนแปลกหน้า
Hey, where's the big jellyfish?
ไอ้อ้วนนั้นไปไหนแล้ว
That's a light box for looking at slides and negatives. It works.
ใช้งานได้อยู่ต้องไปเอาอย่างนี้มากันฟิล์มของแองเจลิน่า
Huh. Looks like Fuller's taking the film. But I wanted to give that fat bastard a piece of my mind first. Where the hell is he?
มันหายไปไหนวะอยากจะจัดการมันก่อนห้องนี้ก็ไม่อยู่
Those are Fuller's dirty shoes for outside. In here, he wears other dirty shoes. If there was a garden outside and not just a garbage dump, I'd have guessed that Fuller wore them to work in the garden. There's clay and earth on the soles. Nothing interesting to see. Should I go through Fuller's garbage? Well, that would mean going through the whole house. I don't think so.
ไม่ไปดูถังขยะ
Fuller's old-fashioned telephone. A used-up, chewed-up ballpoint pen.
มีรอยเคี้ยวอยู่ที่ปลายด้วยปลายปากกา
He definitely doesn't need it anymore. And if he does, well, even better.
เขาคงไม่ต้องการแล้วล่ะไม่ต้องใช้แล้วล่ะแต่ถ้าเขาอยากใช้มันดีขโมย
What have we got here? The US, Hawaii, something illegible, and Europe. Fuller smeared half of it with his filthy paws. What have we got here? The US, Hawaii, illegible, and Europe. Fuller smeared half of it with his filthy paws. A greasy map of the world. My World Tour is written next to it. A few places are marked. The USA around Utah, Arizona. Then over to Hawaii. Afterwards comes North Africa, possibly Egypt. Then China, and then Europe.
China,
Looks like somewhere in Germany.
Egypt, China, Europe. America, Arizona, Hawaii, Egypt, China, Europe. AHECE.
A greasy map of the USA.
ต้องเป็นโค้ดอะไรแน่
Nothing in the whole damn world would make me want to open this door. You've just got to have a look around here to get the impression of what it looks like in there.
ไม่อยากจะเปิด
No. The fatso lives on coffee and burritos. That ought to make for an early death. Fulla ate a microwave burrito with, chili chocolate turkey filling yesterday. I didn't even know that kind of thing exists. But it does.
Safe,
A very old-fashioned safe. There's a logo on it.
MT
Schultz, Pittsburgh. Looks at least 100 years old. I find it hard to believe that Fuller hides anything of worth in there. He's more the paranoid type that wants to protect his telephone bill from prying eyes.
ลองเปิดดูดิ
It's locked. But I've seen how they open these things in those old classic gangster movies. It's locked.
เปิดไงวะนาฬิกาคุกคูเมโล
Hey, there's a small opening. I could easily fit my finger in there. Let's see. It seems to be a mechanism to wind it up. Behind it is a little button. I can't wind the clock up, but I can push this button. A cheapo, old-time cuckoo clock. A testament to Fuller's fine taste for stylish interior decoration.
นาฬิกาของฟุลเลอร์
I think Fuller took his mother on a world tour a few years back. Might be a kind of souvenir.
น่าจะเป็นของฝาก
Nothing stands
จาก
out.
การเที่ยวรอบโลกข้าวก่อน
Perhaps this little angular hole on the clock face. Is that how you wind it up?
Fuller ไปไหนที่เรามาจากหลังบ้านห้องใต้ดินได้เลยมีห้องถ่ายรูปอ่ะห้องล้างฟิล์ม
The undeveloped film is placed in this container. Then the developer fluid is added, and after a short while, the film is developed. I'd better leave it here. I can't do much with it outside the dark room anyway. A completely normal waste bin. I'll make a note of that in case I want to throw anything away. A flat dish about A3 size. If you're making photo prints in it, you have to have diluted developer in it. An old, rather battered locker. Water and all sorts of other liquids have splashed on its door and left their mark.
ไม่มีอะไรพิเศษเอาตรงนี้เดินมาได้
That's a photo enlarger. You put the developed film in the top and then lay a sheet of photo paper on the table below. The picture is projected onto the sheet and so exposes the paper at the same time. Basically, it's just a powerful lamp with a lens in front of it. A bit like a slide projector, or something similar. That's a photo enlarger.
ไม่มีอะไรห้องนี้ไปดูห้องใต้ดินมีห้องลับอยู่ข้างหลัง
A secret door hidden behind the photo backdrops.
มีห้องลับอยู่หลังไอ้นี่ผ้าม่านนะหลังชาม
What the hell are you doing here, boy?
ตกใจฟุลเลอร์วันดี
Keep your hands off, Fuller. Because of you, my mother's in a coma.
What have I got to do with your mother? Out of my basement. Go on, get out of here.
You should have told me that she called. It was obvious that something was wrong. I swear I'm gonna...
You threatening me? You? Threatening me?
If she doesn't wake up, I am gonna...
Out! Get out of here already! You're fired! Out! Out! Out!
You better pray she doesn't die. That's the only thing that'll save your fat ass.
Get out of here! If I ever catch you here again, you'll end up next to your mother.
You're gonna regret this,
You'll never do anything, you pussy! You haven't got the balls! You haven't got the guts! You got nothing!
Think of something. I'll get him back. That man's gonna pay you, just wait. But I still need the film with Angelina's pictures on it from his camera. I could use his darkroom to develop the film and make the prints. If he's not gonna pay me, then that'll do as a partial payment. Now all I have to do is somehow get him out of the store.
ไงให้ฟุลเลอร์ออกมาจากร้านจะได้เข้าไปใช้นั่นได้
Most of the pictures here in the window weren't taken by Fuller. In some moment of blinding inspiration, he must have decided to get some proper photographers to promote his business. Of course, they have no idea just how lucky they've been. A hydrant, just like any other one. I don't see anything special about it. If this place ever burns down, I'll... New England Photo Service. I reckon a person has to be pretty damn desperate to have their pictures taken at Fuller's place. But he's the only photographer in town. And there are plenty of tourists here. Presumably he does most of his business with them. I can't explain it any other way, just how he keeps his head above water. Fuller lives with his mother over the store. I can only ask myself just who he conned into making him the elk design. Or then again, maybe he didn't have the picture made. He probably just stole it. Portraits, group pictures, wedding photography, and landscapes. And all of them totally unimaginative. Just as things should be.
สำรวจไปเรื่อยดูว่ามีอะไรใช้บ้าง
A picture of Carrie.
มีรูปแคร์รี่อยู่
She really was pretty. But it's kind of spooky somehow, being smiled at by a dead person.
ก็ไม่มีอะไรทำอะไรก็ได้ให้ฟุลเลอร์ออกมา
I think that's Fuller's car. I'm not one of those people who knows about such things and goes into fits of ecstasy when they see a classic. Who knows? Is that thing a classic anyway? I don't know exactly how old Fuller is, but him and the car must have been made around the same time. I really can't say anything clever about it. It's a car. An old car. That's Fuller's office window. He's not in there. The window is open, presumably to let in some fresh air. Or maybe it just doesn't close properly. Who knows? A solid iron grill. It's across the light shaft that leads up from the basement. The grill is very heavy and rusted into the concrete. It's gonna take a lot of force to open it. Why should I do that to myself? The grill is very heavy. I wouldn't know how that would get me any further right now. The window's barred. The bars seem pretty strong.
เราใช้นี้ได้นะแต่ว่ามันยังไม่ใช้ตอนนี้ไม่รู้ว่าต้องอะไรโยนพันกับอะไร
The window's barred. I wouldn't know how that would get me any further right now.
ต้องเอาฟูลเลอร์ออกมา
There's no point sneaking in again. I've got to lure Fuller out of the shop first, so I can take care of Angelina's photos.
ต้องล่อฟูลเลอร์ออกมากัน
An unbelievable mess of old guns and swords, uniforms, ships' bells, radios. But as long as it's old, it's sold here.
ร้านขายของเก่า
Well, come on. Come on in. Take a look around. Buy something.
Thanks.
Ah, a young man. You a soldier? Bit slow on the uptake. Have you served?
Sir, no sir.
Ah, so you want to put me on, do you? Find something for yourself and then beat it.
น่าจะเป็นทหารเก่าถามว่าเป็นทหารมาก่อนหรือเปล่าเราบอกไม่ได้เป็นที่ตัดเขียนตัดลวด
A pair of wire cutters for cutting cable. I'd like to buy these wire cutters.
$2.
$2
What? You don't want to negotiate?
ไม่ต่อเลยเหรอ
Oh, you got too much dough,
โอ้
right?
รวยใช่ไหมเนี่ย
You got it coming out of your ears. Never worked a hard day in your life, and you got no idea on the value of $1, I bet.
$2 is $2. In your time, it might have been a meal out and a movie for two. For me, it's half a burger.
Be happy that you can just buy a burger like that. There ain't many beef farmers left. All that imported stuff from the third world has screwed up the prices.
And pretty soon you won't be seeing a single lonesome cowboy herding steers across the prairie and singing those old trail songs around the campfire. Oh.
Yeah. Typical youth humor.
ครีมตัดลวด
Perhaps Eddie picked it up somewhere in the Second World War.
เอ็ดดี้เอามาจากขโมยมาจากไหนตอนสงครามโลกที่
Yep,
สองนี่แหละ
it's famous. I've seen this picture hundreds of times before. Shelves of useless junk.
If you're just gonna bitch, then get lost.
A cupboard full of lots of different things. Books, a record player, boxes, measuring instruments.
You want to buy something?
I'll have a look around first. There are 3 bottles on the shelf. I guess it's hard liquor.
Bourbon.
I don't want to get drunk. I guess those are Eddie's badges from his time in the army.
You got that right, boy.
Looks like a slide projector from here.
Correct.
They look like bazookas. Hopefully they're just replicas.
I hope not.
บาซูก้าจริงอ่ะ
I prefer my Star Wars figures. Is Lucas ever gonna make the 4th part?
ลูกค้าจะทำภาค 4ทำแล้วนี่ สมัยนั้นคงยังไม่ได้ทำวิทยุ
An old radio. Looks like a piece of pro equipment. Are you a radio hobbyist?
Radio hobbyist? You mean one of those idiots who thinks it's neato mosquito when they have another idiot on the air who only lives 2 blocks away? I was a wireless operator with the Hells Devils, 8th Infantry Regiment of the 4th U.S. Infantry Division. I was there in North Africa, and in Sicily, then in Normandy on Utah Beach. I was wounded on the Rhine. That was my eyes. And I got a Purple Heart for it all.
And so, are you still a radio guy or not?
I'm keeping the tradition alive. I talk to old buddies real regular. Can reach them anywhere. I'd say I'm kind of an expert. Keep my things in good working order. Always prepared.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
เราถามว่าเป็นพวกเล่นวิทยุหรือเปล่าบอกฉันไม่ได้เล่นวิทยุเหมือนไอ้คนข้างๆบ้านนะที่เล่นวิทยุแบบเป็นอะไรวะงานอดิเรกฉันทำเป็นทหารมาก่อนเลยประมาณนี้ก็บอกอยู่ตอนนี้ก็ใช้วิทยุคุยกับเพื่อนเก่า
The junk shop owner. He appears to be blind. Maybe he's just putting it on. That would fit with the cliche.
เหมือนกับตาบอด
Tell me, why haven't you served in the military?
ทำไมไม่เป็นท
Over
หาร
there in Iraq, they could use whoever they can get.
In Iraq? The war finished 2 years ago.
Well, you don't say. Read my lips. President Bush is going to bring that Saddam to justice.
Sure. You know that Bush is no longer the president, right?
Well, he'll still bring him to justice. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
เหมือนคนแก่ไม่ค่อยตามข่าวสารนะมันไปทำไมไม่เป็นทหารไปรบที่อิรักสงครามอิรักจบแล้วเมื่อตั้ง2 ปีที่แล้วไม่ใช่เหรอครับที่บอกบุชจะต้องเอาซัดดัมมาลงโทษอ้าวบุชออกจากตำแหน่งไปตั้งแล้วไม่ใช่เหรอครับอะไรเงี้ยต้องถามกับฟุลเลอร์
Do you know Fuller?
รู้จักฟุลเลอร์ไหม
That idiot next door?
ที่อีเดียตนั่นแหละ
Sure I do. You can never choose your neighbors, can you?
You don't seem to like him.
That guy hasn't done one damn decent thing in his life. Lazy bastard just sits around in his store, has his mommy wipe his ass for him, and lets the place fall apart down around his ears. Heed my words. He represents everything that's wrong with this country.
You got that right. From World War II, everything's just been downhill, yeah? Pity we haven't got any decent wars still going on. They've even ditched the draft.
Go ahead. You just make fun of it all, boy. A good licking or a couple of tours in Vietnam, that wouldn't be such a...
What do you mean, such a?
Nothing. The guy's a pig. There's something not right about him. He's hiding something, I'm telling you.
เหมือนจะรู้เลยว่าฟุลเลอร์บอกฟุลเลอร์อาศัยกับแม่อะไรเงี้ยเป็นตัวขี้เกียจแบบไม่ทำอะไรเลยแล้วก็คุยกันไปเรื่อยก็บอกว่าฉันมั่นใจว่าฟุลเลอร์ต้องซ่อนอะไรเอาไว้แน่เลยลองถาม
And who are you? Is this your shop?
No! I just busted in here and you've surprised me, just as I was about to clear the place out.
Oh, how amusing. How long you been waiting to roll that one out?
Your generation lacks respect for its elders. I fought for you to live here. I spilt my blood for you.
And I'll pay your pension. So we're quits, Mr.
Edward D. Warren. Ed for short. Or Eddie to my friends.
Hello, Eddie. I'm Darren. Nice shop you got here.
In my time, it wasn't customary to speak to older folks using their first name.
But we're living in my time now. Aren't we, Ed?
I think you should find whatever it is you're after, and then scram.
Just like I thought. Play the good citizen, but still chase after every dollar. Like the devil chases souls.
เอ็ดดี้บอกว่าเด็กสมัยนี้ไม่เคารพกันเลยเราก็เรียกเขาว่าเอ็ดดี้ไปบอกตอนเขาอะไรวะ In My Time ก็คือในยุคของเขาเนี่ยเขาใช้เรียกชื่อจริงกันไม่ใช่เรียกชื่อเล่นอันนี้ก็บอกนี่มันยุคของผม
I bet that's an original radio set from the Second World War. It definitely doesn't look much newer.
ไม่ได้อะไรได้ครีมไปเอาครีมทำอะไรครีมไปตัดอะไรวะลวด
Man, I would love to smack the old bastard in the teeth.
อุ๊ยสาวมา
I've only been here a few days. Exactly the same length of time the traffic lights have been on pause.
ก็มาอยู่2-3 วันเอง
There's so little traffic here that nobody's bothered that the lights don't work properly. It could also be that no one's actually noticed. To describe Biddeford as quiet would be an understatement. It sometimes seems to me that the place is just about dying.
ไม่มีใครบอกว่ามาอยู่ที่นี่2-3 วันไม่มีใครแบบแจ้งไปเลยว่าไฟตรงนี้เสียทำให้ฝุ่นเริ่มออกมา
The grill isn't made of wire. It's made of sturdy iron strips, so not a good idea.
Yeah, good idea.
The window's barred. The bars seem pretty strong and are bricked into the wall.
บอกว่าไอ้บาร์เนี้ยบาร์เหล็กเนี้ยแข็งแรงมาก
I wouldn't know how that would get.
ทำไงให้ฝุ่นเริ่มออกมาเข็นรถมันลงไป
As long as Fulla's sitting there. I haven't met the old hag yet.
นี่ก็สำเร็จไม่ได้ลองคุยกันรถดู
Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Does Fulla often get packages delivered here?
Yeah, a few times a month.
Why doesn't he have the packages delivered to his store?
He does, but when he's not there, the mailman delivers them here and then Fuller picks them up for himself.
Do you know what was inside the package that I picked up a little while back?
How should I?
Huh. The other package for Fuller, there must be photo paper in it.
Could well be.
Well, can I have it?
Sure. Note, please.
The collection note? Yes, I don't have one.
Then you'll have to ask your boss for it. Nothing goes out of here without a collection note. You got me?
จะมาแอบเอาไอ้แพ็กเกจก็ไม่ได้มิสเตอร์บีบ้าใช่ถ้าเราไปแจ้ง
You know the Vibers?
ไบบ้า
From the diner? Sure I do.
What can you tell me about them?
I don't gossip, but her marriage ain't exactly the best.
Really?
ไม่อยากจะนินทา
Yeah, she's
Eka ninda.
apparently very nice. A little jaded and stressed out. Can't ever forget her work. But him, he's an asshole. Been boozing for 2 or 3 years and is a bit free with his fists.
Why doesn't she leave him then?
No idea. She's real dependent on him. The diner belongs to the both of them. And besides, where would she go? Nobody would take her.
คุยถึงเรื่องมิสเตอร์ไบบ้าไบบ้าไอ้มิสไบบ้ามิสซิสไบบ้าที่ขายของดินเนอร์ขายอาหารเย็นนะผมว่ากับผัวก็ทะเลาะกันบ่อยอะไรเงี้ย
There's a really pretty young lady I've seen walking around here. Do you know her?
You had a real good look at her, didn't you?
แอบมอง
Do
เขาอยู่
you
แล้วสิ
know her?
Well,
Check
I
it out.
wouldn't say no. She came in here and asked about a photo studio, so I sent her up to Fuller's. She interrupted a conversation I was having with a friend. Can you believe that?
No way. I don't believe it.
บอกคุยอยู่แองเจลิน่าก็มาอะไรวะขั้นกลางระหว่างที่คุยกับเพื่อนอยู่แล้วก็มันก็เลยบอกว่าให้ไปที่ฟูลเลอร์แองเจลิน่ามาถามว่ามีที่ไหนที่จะล้างรูปได้บ้างอะไรเงี้ยถ่ายรูปได้บ้าง
Hey, do you know Eddie from the junk shop?
Yeah, sure. I know pretty well everybody here.
So what's going on with him?
He's single. Was never married before either, as far as I know.
ไม่เคยแต่งงาน
But hey, who could put up with him for long anyway? Those never-ending war stories. Can you imagine that?
Is he really blind?
I never heard different, but I wouldn't put money on it either. He's a chiseler. Maybe he's got disability just so he can make himself a few bucks.
แกล้งตาบอดให้เปล่าเลย
What can you tell me about Dr. Newhouse?
The Newhouses? Well, they came here a few years back. He was a big cheese in Boston. Miss Newhouse has brought a good bit of style to this little town. I know her. My girlfriend Betty is her best friend.
Really? She gossips as much too?
We don't gossip, okay? You really want to know all this stuff?
เราไม่ได้นินทาบอกว่านิวเฮาส์เพิ่งย้ายบ้านนิวเฮาส์เพิ่งย้ายมาอยู่นี่ได้2-3 ปีภรรยาของหมอนิวเฮาส์ก็เป็นคนที่มีสไตล์มาจากเมืองใหญ่ถามกับโรซี่นั่นแหละ
What brings someone like her, or maybe even you, here to Biddeford?
Someone like me? You mean a fat woman in a state full of fitness freaks? You're one charming kind of guy, aren't you?
No. I meant, why would someone as unfriendly as you work in a town tourist shop of all places?
Well, you ain't exactly a picture of politeness yourself.
But I don't work in a tourist shop either.
Okay, look. I grew up in New Jersey. My father didn't think the neighborhood was good for me or my brothers and sisters. So he got himself a job in a paper mill and dragged us all up here. Satisfied with that?
And you just weren't able to get yourself a job in construction or driving a truck?
Look, you shouldn't go trying to take on someone like me. You're punching way above your weight, son.
Huh, I can't deny that.
คุยกับตัวเองว่าทำไมคนอย่างโรซี่ที่ไม่มีอะไรวะมนุษย์สัมพันธ์เลยมาทำงานเกี่ยวกับการท่องเที่ยวแบบนี้ขายแบบโปสการ์ดขายของฝากของท่องเที่ยวบอกว่าพ่อย้ายมาก็เลยย้ายมาด้วย
Is that a girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, one of my best ones.
Does she sit about in this store the whole day?
Excuse me? I wouldn't know what that would have to do with you.
I just mean, has she got a job or not?
She doesn't need one. Actually, her husband has plenty of dough. And even if he didn't, then she could easily earn good money working as a photo model.
As a photo model, huh? That could maybe help me out some.
Oh, really?
Nothing. It's okay.
คนนี้เป็นเพื่อนของโรซี่บอกว่ามีงานทำบอกแฟนเขารวยมากไม่ต้องทำงานแล้วก็ถ้าเขาทำงานก็อาจจะเป็นอะไรนะนางแบบถ่ายรูปอ่ะ
Hey Rosie, did you know Carrie, Jason's first wife?
Of course I knew her. I know everyone in Biddeford. At the end of the day, this is the only post office.
And what was she like?
What's that got to do with you?
I just wanted to chat a little.
Well, we never spoke too much. She was always so quiet. No comparison with Juliet. At least with her, you can have a decent conversation. Jason's so lucky he got her now. That really wasn't a life for a guy like Jason. With someone like that dragging him down? Now, at least he's got a life.
Ah, so lucky.
Just between you and me, one shouldn't speak ill of the dead. But that Carrie, she was always a little strange.
Uh-huh.
บอกว่าดีแล้วเจสันนะที่แคลรี่ตายได้ที่ได้มีเมียใหม่อ่ะจะได้ใช้ชีวิตบ้างเหมือนแคลรี่มันป่วยอ่ะโอเคเสร็จแล้ว
Thanks.
Yeah.
ได้เรื่องได้ราวมาว่าคนนี้น่าจะช่วยได้เพราะว่าเป็นโมเดล
Huh. The bimbo reads fashion magazines. Why is she doing that here?
อ่านหนังสือแฟชั่น
Excuse me, ma'am.
ขอโทษครับ
it's you,
คุณนาย
hoodlum from this morning.
Yeah, well, I was in a rush. An important job to do.
No reason to be impolite.
Of course not. I've noticed you're really into those fashion magazines. Are you a model?
เป็นโมเดลหรือเปล่าเป็นนางแบบ
No.
ชม
You're joking. You must have at least
Kung
thought about
model
becoming a
din.
photo model.
Actually, I have been approached.
Oh, well, that goes without saying. You see, I work for a magazine from down south. Ladies in Chrome.
I've never heard of it.
It's the high society magazine in the south. The magazine for the top 10,000. I'm working on a piece about life and style in the far north.
Really? How exciting.
Maybe you have some recent photos. I'd love to show our readers what fine taste people up here in the north have. This is your stylish convertible, right?
It is! And I'd be happy to be at your disposal for your story. But I don't have any photos.
That shouldn't be any problem.
ก็เราหลอกชมว่าสวยจังเลยเป็นโมเดลหรือเปล่านี่ก็บ้ายออยู่แล้วก็เลยเราก็โกหกไปว่าเราทำงานที่หนังสือ Lady and the Chrome นะทางใต้อยากรู้ว่าสไตล์ของพวกคนที่อาศัยทางเหนือนะเป็นยังไงก็เลยบอกว่าคุณมีรูปให้ผมจะส่งรูปที่เป็นสไตล์การแต่งตัวของคุณใช่ไหมดูดีมากเลยเดี๋ยวผมจะส่งรูปไปลงในหนังสืออะไรเงี้ยเขาบอกไม่มีรูปเราก็เลยต้องแนะนำไปที่ฟุลเลอร์
There's an excellent photographer in town, isn't there?
Fuller? You can't be serious. That savage would never be able to light me properly.
Oh, so you don't know
What don't I know?
who Fuller really is? He's an internationally renowned star photographer from New Zealand. He's been living here incognito for a few years. He's working on his life's work. He's documenting normal folks' lives here in America. Of course, he's got to stay unrecognized to do that.
That's... No, I can't believe that.
I swear, in a few years, when he's finished his work, it'll be the photographic sensation of the decade.
I can't believe it. Show me some of his pictures, then we'll see.
Well, all right then. But don't run away.
No way.
แล้วก็โกหกต่อไปอีกว่าฟูลเลอร์
My God, what a lame story. But vanity has always been the biggest weakness for those kind of folks. If I can show her a few reasonable photos, then perhaps she'll lure Fuller out of the shop for me.
แล้วก็หลอกอีกว่าฟูลเลอร์เป็นอะไรวะตากล้องเก่งมากในระดับประเทศเลยปลอมตัวมาดูใช้ชีวิตอะไรวะมาดูคนใช้ชีวิตแถวเนี้ยแล้วก็ถ่ายไปทำแบบโปรเจกต์ใหญ่อะอีก 2-3 ปีโปรเจกต์เขาออกมาต้องดีแน่เลยอันนี้ก็บอกงั้นก็เอารูปที่ฟูลเลอร์ถ่ายมาดูหน่อยจะได้เชื่อไง
I think I'd rather my hand fell off before I took any of those with me. Those are banners and flags. Some very stylish, some completely not. I reckon the big ones must be for yachts. My SLR camera, fitted with a flash too. I never leave home without it.
นี่วาร์ปได้
A stand displaying a million travel guides. New England, Quebec, England and Wales, Holland, the national parks of the USA, Tuscany, Hong Kong, etc., etc. There are too many travel guides to just go leafing through them all. While I've got nothing specific to look for, I'll leave them there.
ต้องไปหารูปมา
I
มีท่านบาร์เหล็กเดินทะลุคน
A flat metal bar. It's broken away from the railings. It's pretty heavy.
หนักเหมือนกันนะไปหาลูกที่ไหนได้
A life belt. Years ago, there were pirates around here who used to lure ships under the rocks. They used to light false beacons, and once the ships had run aground on the rocks, they'd row out and rescue the cargo.
เมื่อก่อนเป็นเมืองของไพเรตโจรสลัดเราจะแปลโฟโต้มาจากไหนเนี่ย
Most of the year, an open-top car is a bad idea around here. With that kind of weather, Biddeford should make the raincoat a national uniform. I haven't seen such an old bubblegum machine for years. Belongs to the diner. They do that whole nostalgia thing in there too.
โอเค1 ชั่วโมงพอดีสรุปคือตอนนี้ต้องหาทางให้คุณเลิกมาจากบ้านนะต้องลอกมาที่เรารู้คือต้องไปคุยกันนั้นแหละที่เป็นโมเดลให้ไปล่อคุณเลิกออกมาให้ได้แล้วเดี๋ยวมาต่อกันคลิปหน้าครับ